It's Talk Dragon Tuesday with RPW. I have a lot to talk about today, so let's go ahead and get this thing started right away. First of all, I want to welcome you to my channel. This is where you're going to find guides and lots of cool stuff. And of course, I want to reach out and say thank you to all of my subscribers and for everyone that is watching my videos, because you're the reason I'm doing this. And without you there would be no point in even being here. So definitely want to say thank you for your support, which is why I did a contest over this last week, and we'll be doing some in the future. But we had a winner. If you didn't see the video, go check it out. And congratulations, Ernesto, for winning. That is awesome. So if you haven't noticed, I have Beginner's Guide for War Dragons on my channel that are really coming out regularly. And then we've got the Good and the Bad and the Ugly series where we review dragons, spells, and so forth. But I'd like to know what kind of videos you guys would like for me to do for you. Just comment below and let me know. So let's go over the latest, the breeding event from last week. One of the things I can say is, for me, I don't know about anybody else, but for me, the breeding event is the relaxing event. You don't have to do a lot of attacks. You don't have to collect up a bunch of resources unless you weren't prepared. If you weren't prepared, then you're one of those last minute, oh, I got to get my stuff together. Or there might be that one dragon that you breed and it's like, well, I could get this next one, so I'm going to go ahead and do some attacks here to get some XP. However, I'm pretty excited because I got 2 platinum dragons in this event, which means I get to take up my event dragons to their platinum stone, which I'm pretty excited about. However, I didn't take them above that because I'm saving it for the feeding event, which I feel is going to be coming up in the next few weeks. So, as for the breeding event, let's talk about the things that I've noticed that people do wrong up to the breeding event. Number 1, you're not keeping up with your XP on your dragons prior to, and then you're last minute trying to figure it out. You're not doing your missions. As number 2, you're not doing your missions and getting your egg tokens. You need to get those missions done, or you're going to end up not having as much as you wanted. And then of course, number 3, you're simply not logging in every day and gathering your egg tokens. These are 3 very big key things to help prepare you for a successful breeding event. Now, most veteran players also know that if you get mystic fragments, not to spend them. However, we do have some newer players that probably watch this, so I want to point that out. If you gain a mystic fragment, never spend that outside of an event. Now, whether you choose to spend it every event like I do, because I like my points, I feel like the more points I gain, the more prizes, etc. That's what makes me addicted to this game. But if you choose, you can actually save those back for when you get to a higher level, when it's actually more challenging to get the dragons that you want. So that is a big key thing. Now, really quickly, I want to go over what I do to prepare for the breeding event, because I don't really go by the breeding guides exactly. I use them as a guide to help me, but I create my own breeding guide. Means there are times that I actually skip the dragons within the lines because I'm trying to breed for my event dragons. That's how I do it. So I'll go look at a guide and say, okay, who is my target dragon that I need to work on? Well, of course, this time around, it was going to be 2 of the platinum legendary dragons. So I kind of looked through all the guides and I was like, okay, which ones do I need to breed to unlock those? So I ended up skipping 6 gold dragons in order to get what it was that I needed. So back in December, it was December 20th was the week of the breeding event during that time. And I was able to breed Consurgents, which was pretty exciting for me because I knew this was going to unlock my path. And the 2 dragons I chose that would be the easiest, it seemed, was Vulcan and I think it's Rizar. I don't know how you pronounce it exactly. So I decided that that was going to be what I would go for. So I created a breeding guide for myself to get to my goal. So of course, during that time, I was done with Synchronos and I had him ready to breed along with Bander and Crisis. So I got Consurgents on December 20th. I was pretty excited about that. And then January 24th, the next breeding came in and I got Synchronos finished up. And I, of course, got Bander and I got halfway through Crisis. So then came February 21st, which was just this week. This was really not something I was expecting. I didn't expect to get as far as I did. But once I finished Crisis, I worked pretty much all night long to get him to breedable. And I was pretty excited because I did. I could not believe it, but I did. So the ones I got to breedable, I went and I bred Nakira. And that night I did my multiplier XP runs. And the next morning I was able to do enough runs, which trust me was like 25 runs to get Nakira to breedable. And so it was time to breed Vulcan and Razar. I was so excited, but I didn't think I was going to get it. And sure enough, between my actual breeding and the tokens that I was earning throughout the event, I was able to finish it off. I was so excited. That's one reason why I say you should save back those rubies and only use those on the gold chests. I saw this on a YouTube video back when I first started, and it is so true. Only spend those rubies on your gold chests. It is the best way to spend it. So I'm pretty excited, but comment below and tell me what you bred during this breeding event. Now let's talk about Kieran. Kieran came out, and I think we were all shocked because I don't know if anybody else watches it, but I was watching the live feed a couple months ago and they were talking about the dragons coming out in the event and that they weren't going to feature a 5th dragon, but instead a 2nd dragon rider. So I wasn't expecting any other dragons to be revealed personally. So I was shocked when they came out with this one. But it is a great dragon to have, especially for a lower level player, because he starts out with the lower level eggs. You know, like for example, if you're a level 20, you're not going to be able to breed a quester right out of the time that you get him. Where with Kieran, they can kind of work it up with them. So in one sense, he is a great dragon to have, but I just don't know after what I've done with Equester and with Leos that I want to really go off track by that much personally. But if you are interested in Kieran, don't forget today is the last day to get him at half price. So if you haven't collected your sigils yet from your team prize, or you haven't spent them and you've been thinking about this, make sure you go get him today, because after today he'll no longer be half price, which is also kind of a shocker because generally these are half priced for like 2 weeks. But I think the reason they've done that is because they should be opening up the super sigil chest this week, and it would be too easy, I guess, to get him if they did that. I don't know. But anyways, I did do a run with him for small level review. If you go check out my video, it's the good and the bad and the ugly with Kieran. But this isn't necessarily a review for anybody that's, of course, past the gold, levels in their dragons. I do have some other dragon videos coming up. There will be a run with a quester for anybody that's gold and platinum. I think that would be a great one. But outside of that, this video is more for low levels. So make sure you check it out, guys. Okay, so Capture the Flag is this week. I'm not 100% sure if the email's gone out on that yet, but I generally get my information from wardragons.info on Mondays. If you've not checked out that website, guys, you really need to, because you get a lot of insights from them. Okay, so let's go over what Capture the Flag is exactly. Okay, so this is another PvP that personally puts me in mind of the pits, except you're not climbing out of anything, you're just trying to gather the most flags. So really, realistically, you want to make sure that you are very careful and you kind of hold back your energies and let it kind of slowly go out. So this is more of those, be consistent and regular with your attacks. Don't go all in and at once, because if you do, you're not going to have much left over for the later, rounds. This should be about 17 rounds, just like with the fight pits. So if you use everything you've got in the first round, then you're not going to be able to help your team in later rounds. Realistically, with this one, you're going to want to use your inner fires as much as you can, but again, make sure that you wait until towards the end of a round, or that you spread them out throughout and maybe use your inner fires more towards the end of the entire game itself. Which brings me to my next point. Guys, yes, whenever you go in and you choose your team and you do your attacks, number one, attack people that's either attacking you or that's got more flags than you, number one. But try to wait to the last hour to 30 minutes to do your attacks, because that's when it gets most important. I mean, that's something I've noticed. That's how we generally take first place in these events. Now, be sure to check back on my channel tomorrow, because once the event opens, I'm going to have it actually in front of me where I can make a my first, of course, event guide video. So be sure to check back tomorrow. That way you can get a little bit more of a depth of an explanation as to how this works and how you can best beat in this event. So good luck to everybody and have fun. I know I like getting all those flags on my island, but they all disappeared last time. So, we shall see. And honestly, I'm a little irritated. I don't know about anybody else, but this is the second one this season. So I don't know what they've done with that. But we've got to do what we've got to do so that we can play and get our points, right? Okay, really quickly, I want to introduce one last segment that we're going to be adding into our Talk Dragon Tuesdays, and that is LC Drama of the Week. I don't know if you guys have paid attention to the league chat, but there are some funny things that will pop up in there. And the other night, I just decided to record. Just screen record and let them talk it out. So here's for you guys a little bit of fun. Just kind of watch it and read it, and maybe you can get a kick out of it. And then if you guys like this, maybe we can make this a series. You just let me know in the comments below if you'd like to see more of this. And I would like to make it to where we expand it out to where you send in the video or a screenshot of things that might be happening in your league that's funny or whatever, and we will pick the top ones and we will post them. But for today, stay after the credits and check out the league chat of the week. If you don't want to watch it, that's cool. Put in the comment section below if you do like that. Maybe we can try to make it a little bit easier to understand and read, but I did block out names. Alright guys, give me a thumbs up if you liked this week's video, and be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on future ones. Happy hunting, and enjoy the LC Drama of the Week, starting now.